Well, this is a story that so many people in our newsroom have been talking about all day. It sounds a little bizarre, but millions of people are claiming a growing internet craze is helping them beat insomnia, anxiety, and even depression.
Digital journalist Nia Wesley explains the weird trend making waves across the web.
It's a strange phenomenon that's caught fire on social media. Videos of people whispering, eating, and even brushing their hair are attracting millions of viewers. For a growing number of people, these videos are deeply relaxing, helping people alleviate anxiety and get to sleep. Watchers say the videos trigger a tingling feeling in the brain. The phenomenon is called ASMR, or Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. A euphoric and calming sensation, they say, travels across the entire body.
After listening to ASMR for about a good week, I just felt this overwhelming feeling that I could sit up.
Spirit Payton was introduced to ASMR when struggling with chronic pain after an accident on the job. Doctors told her she would never walk again. Stunned by her mental and physical progress since discovering ASMR, Spirit decided to dedicate her life to becoming an ASMR artist.
Hello, special spirits and lights.
She now has 300,000 YouTube subscribers.
Spirit's fans say the tapping, scratching, and whispering helps with everything from anxiety to drug addiction.
It relaxes me to the point where I would want to go in my bedroom and just lie down.
Listening to them really helped me relax.
But how could watching someone eat put you to sleep? We spoke with psychology professor Dr. Craig Richards.
It's kind of strange, that mouth sounds or little crinkling sounds or someone whispering would lull us to sleep. But if this all originated from being able to react this way when we're infants, then all of a sudden it makes sense.
As for the tingles,
there's a neurohormone called oxytocin, and it's just a chemical released in our brains when we're spending time with someone who really cares for us.
26-year-old Spencer Beal of Converse, Texas, credits ASMR for helping him stay sober from a 7-year heroin addiction.
It really helps me kind of move on from my past.
Strange videos, miraculous effects that have Spirit back on her feet.
If it wasn't for ASMR saving my life, you would not see me. But because I know what it done for me, I will not give up. I will not stop until my spirit is ready to go home.
Nia Wesley, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
Wow. This story had more people talking in our newsroom than almost anything else, and everyone has an opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's that, you can't argue with it if it's beaten in heroin addiction.
Right.
Yeah.
Heroin's one of the hardest addictions to break.
Absolutely.
And you know what Nia told me too is that there are ASMR cafes and ASMR on demand where people can come to your office wherever you want.
And do it live.
Yeah,
not just
in-person
in video.
experience. And it's huge in LA, New York.
So you hire them to come.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, like Bill said, if it works,
more
power to you.
It's kind of one of those things. If it's only crazy if it doesn't work. Right?
That's right.
I'm serious. Okay.
Yeah.